friends, welcome back to another episode of the Neil Fox Show, and today we are reacting to videos on BitChute, the world's, let's just say, least politically correct video website. As I described it to the Labrador, it is basically white supremacist YouTube. Now, of course, we will be posting a censored version on YouTube if we find anything that is particularly vile, but the uncensored version you can find on uncensored platforms like Telegram. So, go right ahead. Click away.
Okay, let's
explore the white supremacist YouTube.
I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. All right,
so we have someone reading off the Quran.
And by the way, just for the listeners' sake, the name of this channel is called Fresh Nukes. Fresh Nukes, and this video has 19 views.
So no one's ever heard of this.
What's Esau doing? He's striving with his maker. He's an adversary.
I would love to hear this guy.
The enemy, man.
Let's see if I can find
Who the hell is this guy, and what is he talking about?
Let's find out.
Okay, let's go find something a little weirder.
It says, woe unto him that striveth with his maker. Let not the pot serve.
Let's see. Fresh Nukes, this guy looks kind of tame.
Tame!
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see what they're talking about, Brandon.
Pelosi's Plastic Surgeon, 177 subscribers! 54 views, okay. There is a popular tab if you want to try that.
You know, the State of the Union's coming up, and the president's got to, and I think will because he believes this. We got to move this. Because that's the only way we keep 1.5 degrees alive. So how do we get there? Well, the lesson I've learned in the last years, and I learned it as secretary, and I've learned it since, reinforced in spades, is money, 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 money.
Who the fuck is this guy?
That's John Kerry, darling.
I'm sorry
he ran
to
for
say
president?
that. Yes, technology.
He did?
Yes, exciting new initiatives. Yes, organizing. Winning races.
1,000 people have run for president. John Kerry.
Very many people have been a major party nominee.
Good point. What year did he run in?
Most voted issue was
He
climate.
ran against Obama in 2012.
It's a huge deal.
Oh, that's why I don't remember him.
I have said this before, but I'll say it again. I'm convinced we will get to a low carbon, no carbon economy. We're going to get there.
I don't fucking believe you, you hypocrite.
We can get there in
Shut the
time
fuck
to do
up.
what scientists said, which is avoid.
Jackass.
Wow.
Now, I want to talk to those of you who are woke and who are open to rational argument.
Okay, let's start with a rational argument. Who are you?
Because one of the tenets of wokeness is, of course, that your feelings matter more than the truth. But I believe in you. I believe there are those of you here who are woke, who are open to rational arguments. So
Who is this heretic?
We are told that your generation cares more than any other about one issue in
I've seen
particular.
this guy somewhere
That
before.
issue is climate change. We're told that many of you suffer from climate anxiety.
Climate anxiety.
You wish
Climate anxiety! Honestly, guys, climate anxiety is
I will join
the
you in
least
worshiping
detrimental
at the
thing in my
center
current
of climate.
ecosphere.
See, here's the thing.
Let us all accept
It is
right here, right
important
now,
to
that we are
fix
living
climate change,
through a
but
climate
as the Labrador will say on the
emergency.
program frequently, it is much more important to fix other things. It's just, we also have to fix climate change.
Well, you see, the Labrador, myself, yes, climate change is important, but are we willing to bankrupt the entirety of the world to try?
Correct, and there is no need to do that. It's just, unfortunately, that's the way that people want to fix it is by taking control away from the people, which is the ass backwards way to do it.
Yes, and if you take control away from the people, we have a thing called the Second Amendment. Violent revolution is a last resort.
Oh, this is a great...
Here is a quote.
Yeah, tell me.
It's going to be decided by poor people.
Here is a quote from the Labrador.
Don't care.
Yes, give us the quote from the Book of Trey.
The Book of Trey. Do not put people in a position where they have nothing left to lose.
Correct. Oh my God.
Do not do that. And here's another quote. Do not make it so that a man's life is that you leave do not leave a man with nothing left in his life Because he will have to become a felon to live his life.
Correct.
Do not rob people of their rights. Otherwise, crime will only increase. Crime is an artificial metric.
Correct. Crime is not the choices of poor people. Crime is the choices of rich people that make the laws that criminalize the actions of poor people.
Correct. And the poor people who, unfortunately, have to commit crimes to live is immoral, forcing people into positions where they have to make these decisions. They have to decide on what is best for them because there is nothing left for them.
Correct.
These people in the most dangerous state there possibly can be.
Exactly.
We are witnessing this in Europe. Currently, people are stabbing each other like people are reenacting the Jack the Ripper at a, quite frankly, alarming rate.
Wow.
Stabbings are up 1,000% in some places.
Now, how much is 1,000% in comparison to 100%? You're going to have to explain it to me.
Well, 1,000%.
I'm teasing him because we had this conversation yesterday, unironically.
Well, you see, 1,000% is above the norm.
Yes.
And quite frankly, now becoming the norm. My question is, when are people going to start robbing banks with crossbows?
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus. Well, that you are really giving us some interesting things to look at today, my friend. Let's take a look at this video. It's called "Suicided: The Suicides of Those Exposing Child Trafficking" documentary. Oh, 700 views. Okay, so high roller, big spender. Okay,
I see.
Well, at least I love documentary.
Oh,
It's a
so
concerted effort, politics of personal destruction. Fuck you, John Podesta.
Mouthy Buddha.
I did something really dumb. I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal.
No comment.
Not right now.
In November of 2009, a woman named Laura Silsby founded a nonprofit, the New Life Children's Refuge, which described its mission as attempting to rescue orphaned and abandoned children in Haiti and Dominican Republic.
Okay.
2 months later, on January 29th, 2010, Silsby was arrested for attempting to traffic 33 orphaned children out of Haiti without documentation.
These are some of the 33 Haitian children an American Baptist group allegedly tried to unlawfully take out of the country on Saturday.
The group's leader, Laura Silsby, says the group paid no money for the children.
The mistake obviously we made is we did not understand that there was additional paperwork required.
To me, it's pretty alarming because we're the legal parents of these children and we give her explicit instructions not to interfere with them. For her to continue to come and try to find them, to take them to the Dominican, tells me that her intent is not actually the best.
Wow.
okay.
The world would later learn through WikiLeaks that Hillary Clinton was sent email updates from Uma Abedin and other associates regarding Silsby's incarceration.
Yeah, maybe we should go through the WikiLeaks files at some point.
This was not...
So, unfortunately for us, just in terms of finishing before the end of the universe, the WikiLeaks, when you're talking about the WikiLeaks files, if you're talking about all of them, you're talking about something like a petabyte of information or something like that. However, we can certainly go through the most interesting stuff from there.
Well, here's the thing. We'll use bot scraping algorithms to pull out specific topics because maybe aliens are in the WikiLeaks.
Oh my god. Maybe? Who knows? Who knows? And we are back. Let's continue.
Not the first time Silsby found herself facing child trafficking charges. Silsby had been caught once before by Haitian police attempting to traffic 40 children out of the country. However, in that incident, no charges were brought against her, and she was merely turned back at the border.
Is this lady working for Jeffrey
A week
Epstein?
after Silsby was apprehended the second time, on February 7th, 2010, former President Bill Clinton appointed Silsby a lawyer by the name of Jorge Puello. Puello was successful in getting Silsby's charges reduced to 6 months. Jorge Puello also had a colorful history of human trafficking. He was convicted of...
So, why was Bill Clinton getting involved in this? How deep does this rabbit hole go?
Great question. And also, why is this only on BitChute? Because so far, I haven't seen anything that would be against the terms of service for YouTube.
No.
Okay.
My guess is it's been pushed so far down that nobody wants to find out about these rabbit holes.
It's very possible. Okay, let's continue.
Our investigation.
An international sex trafficking ring involving women and underage girls out of Central America and Haiti. Puello's wife was also arrested on the same charges.
Keep your community safe and
in 2011, Silsby was appointed as CFO of the software company Connexus and would later become its vice president of marketing. Connexus operates AlertSense, which is the mass notification software used in FEMA's Integrated Public Alert and Warning System, or IPAWS.
The goal is to alert Americans to emergencies like severe weather and missing children.
One of IPAWS' functions is to issue Amber Alerts to the public in the event of kidnapping. The Amber Alert system was set up during Bill Clinton's presidency. In 2015, Laura Silsby married Norman Gaylor and took his last name, which is how her name now appears on the Connexus website. How does a woman who was caught multiple times attempting to traffic children internationally get promoted to the executive team of the preeminent kidnapping warning system in the country? And why
well, that seems a little suspicious, doesn't it?
We're going to continue to...
It certainly does. Now, I would warn you, and any of the listeners watching, that this appears to be a video that is edited to manipulate your emotions. So,
yes.
Now, they're not giving a lot of evidence yet.
No.
They're mostly just saying things that are public knowledge, like there's an Amber Alert system that was set up during Bill Clinton's presidency. So let's see where they go with it, whether or not they're able to actually back up their claims.
Okay, let's find out.
Support, as we do in every instance like this, to American citizens who have been charged, and hope that this matter can be resolved in an expeditious way.
The morning of July 26, 2019, Twitter users saw hashtag Clinton body count trending, just weeks before Jeffrey Epstein had reportedly committed suicide in his prison cell.
By the way,
body count was
Jeffrey Epstein was on suicide watch.
Oh, of course he was.
Which, suicide watch for prison means you're sitting there naked most of the time. So how did he kill himself?
Great question. Great question. Let's find out.
How exactly did he kill himself?
Great question. Let's find out.
Nothing new and had become a meme in forums across the internet years prior. It references the seemingly anomalous amount of Clinton associates who died suspiciously or under mysterious circumstances. Izette Folger, a close friend of Clinton associate James Alefantis, gave a statement in support of Silsby during her trial. Folger is the daughter of Michael Maccabee, who coaches leaders of Nuestros Pequeños Hermanos, or NPH, a large organization that runs orphanages all over the world. Folger's son, Max Maccabee, is on the board of directors of an NPH orphanage called Friends of the Orphans, which is one of the 760 orphanages operating in Haiti, and happens to be the exact orphanage from which Silsby was caught trafficking children. Curiously, Max Maccabee gave an emphatic and lengthy statement of support for Comet Pizza during a contentious neighborhood commission meeting back when the Pizzagate controversy exploded.
Okay, so Pizzagate has been roundly debunked. So I am getting a bit skeptical of this documentary because the thing is that anyone who looks at the evidence
Well,
can see that it would be impossible to have a child trafficking ring in the basement of a place that doesn't have a basement.
well, here's the thing. It depends on when this documentary actually came out.
That's true.
It could have come out right around before the Pizzagate got debunked.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's keep listening.
Because the timelines on these things are generally pretty shaky, just because of the amount of cover-ups that go on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Take the Biden classified document scandal.
Mm-hmm. Yep, something that's happening right now.
Something that had happened right now, and they found the original sets of documents months and months ago, and it's now just coming to light.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right.
It is also worth noting here that Frank Giustra, owner of the Radcliffe Foundation, is on the board of directors for the Clinton Foundation and is a major donor to the organization. The logo of El Pita Home, a refugee center founded by the Radcliffe Foundation, happens to be almost identical in shape and color to the boy lover symbol that the FBI declassified in 2007.
Sure it is.
Now, regardless of how you feel about the veracity of
no one would make the logo of their organization the, quote, boy lover symbol. I'm sure that's just a coincidence.
I mean, take Furry Valley. They've taken the zoophile symbol and inverted it.
And they told you that that was what they were doing?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I was working at the highest level,
Fair
so
enough.
I know what was going on.
Fair enough, fair enough. That is a good point. Stranger things have happened, we say.
Yes.
Scandals seem to follow the Clintons. Their ties to pedophilia don't end there.
Ties to Jeffrey Epstein as well.
Monica Peterson was a research intern at the Laboratory to Combat Human Trafficking and a research fellow and assistant director at the Human Trafficking Center. She also served on the Colorado Human Trafficking Council's Data and Research Task Force. Peterson wrote and spoke prolifically on human trafficking. On August 15, 2015, Monica announced her plan to visit Haiti to conduct research on human trafficking and subsequently began living there full-time. On January 3, 2016, Monica shared with her friend Bella some of her findings based on her fieldwork in Haiti up to that point. Quote, Ms. Clinton has corrupt and dirty business to finish in Haiti. This is the theory my master's thesis puts forth. This is modern structural slavery. But the real significance of this scandal for me, I know you feel me, Bella, is the link to contemporary slavery and trafficking. I can't say to what extent, but there is human trafficking happening through the Clintons' Caracal complex. By this point, Monica seemed to be investigating the Clinton...
There's a word that you don't hear every day.
Hold on, let me make sure that we heard that correctly.
...extent, but there is human trafficking happening through the Clintons' Caracal complex.
The audio is so bad, it's hard for me to hear.
I mean, it's written down, so you can just read it.
Dear, it is so blurry that it is impossible to read what that says.
Go back, my dear.
But the real significance of this scandal for me, I know you feel me, Bella, is the link to contemporary slavery and trafficking. That's what it says.
Okay, keep going.
I can't say
to what extent.
To what extent, but there is human trafficking happening through the Clintons' Caracal complex.
Caracal complex. Oh, you're right. They did list it out. I just missed it before. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Let me search what that word means because I've never heard of it before. My guess is that it's a location in Haiti, but I've just never seen that word before. Let's see. Caraol complex. Clinton. Okay, let's see. Yes, I'm not a robot. Thank you. Inside the Clintons' Haiti. Okay, Caracal Industrial Complex. $300 million. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see. No more country more clearly illustrates the confusing nexus of Hillary Clinton's State Department and Bill Clinton's foundation than Haiti. Workers walked through the Caracal Industrial Park campus in the north of Haiti in 2015. The $300 million park, which opened for business in 2012, was intended to have thousands more jobs, but is far behind initial projections. And this is Politico, by the way. This is not some fringe YouTube.
This isn't from the middle of nowhere.
Right. This video we're watching has 700 views. This is Politico.
Correct.
Let's see. Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton, in her role as U.S. Secretary of State, played key roles in advocating for and protecting the project. A worker repairs machinery at a sisal rope production facility. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so when they're talking about this Caracal location, this is what they're talking about.
Okay.
It's kind of... I would have to see more, but it seems like they didn't really get a lot for their $300 million if this is what they're talking about. Like, the roof isn't even finished, looks like.
Oh, no, those are interior lights.
Oh, okay. But, like, it's a bare concrete floor, like... Ooh.
It's a warehouse.
By this point, Monica seemed to be investigating the Clinton Foundation's child trafficking ties full time. On November 13th, 2016, Monica Peterson was reported dead in Haiti, although no body was ever retrieved for the family's burial service. Monica's family was told that she committed suicide, but they were kept in the dark as to the exact details of her death.
She seemingly took her own life by hanging. But since that time, things that have come to light that just don't fit with Monica's life. None of this seems to fit, and maybe that's just the way it's always going to be.
Peterson's professor, Claude D'Estrie, said the following about her death. Quote, "She decided to take on one of the demagogues in the field of human trafficking. She produced a 110-page analysis of human trafficking in Haiti. 2 years of research. We were looking for someone who was smart enough and maybe brave enough to publish her work. I will continue to seek out and publish it for her." After making this statement, D'Estrie suddenly disavowed any connections between Peterson and human trafficking and the Clintons. D'Estrie said Peterson had gone to Haiti a number of times, but she was not there to research human trafficking and was not investigating the Clinton Foundation. Why would D'Estrie do a public 180? It turns out that he worked as a supervisor in the U.S. Attorney's Office on behalf of DynCorp between 1999 and 2002. This coincides with the exact time period DynCorp was caught sex trafficking children in Bosnia and Kosovo.
What is DynCorp? Never heard of
DynCorp. Okay, let's look it up.
Never heard of DynCorp. DynCorp.
DynCorp. DynCorp. Let's see what it says. Formerly DynCorp International was an American military private contract. Was an American private military contractor. Started as an aviation company. Okay, so it looks like it's rebranded. Or no, it's been acquired by a company called Amentum.
I've never heard of Amentum.
Neither have I. Let's see.
Are they another PMC?
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see. Amentum. What do they have to say? Premier leader in global engineering, product management, and solutions integration. 85 countries, 44,000 employees, military-friendly employer. Okay, so they provide data analysis, intelligence, engineering. Yeah, this is a private military contractor. Who we work with: Homeland Security, Army, Navy, Air Force, and Energy. Okay.
Oh,
wow.
Cool.
Interesting. Okay.
I wonder what their stock price is.
I don't know.
Want to find out?
Sure. This may not be big enough for it to be a publicly held company, but let's find out.
Well, one way to find out.
Amentum Company.
Maybe we'll just buy them.
Maybe we will. Let's see. Revenue, $9 billion. Wow.
Yeah, I would say they're big enough to be on the stock market.
Probably. Let's see. Amentum from Wikipedia. It is 9 billion, 50,000 employees, and notable projects. Training of U.S. helicopter pilots, various operation roles for nuclear remediation, waste isolation pilot plant, operates the Nevada Test and Training Range, and operations of the Kennedy Space Center during the Space Shuttle years. Huh, interesting. Okay. Well, that sounds like a very interesting company, that's for sure. They make $9 billion a year. Let's continue.
What?
DynCorp played an active role in sexual abuses in Haiti. What if Monica Peterson was actually onto something before she died? What if her discoveries were true? Has anyone else unearthed the Clinton Foundation's alleged ties to human trafficking? Chris Cornell was the vocalist of the popular band Soundgarden. He and his wife, Vicky, worked with 6 different charity organizations for nearly a decade. In 2012,
What the hell is
they
Soundgarden
founded the
again? Soundgarden? Never heard of them. Let's see. We're learning about all kinds of new things I've never heard of before.
I've vaguely heard of them, but...
Soundgarden. An American rock band. Popularized grunge. Biggest success in 1994 with the album Super Unknown. No longer in existence, but founded in 1984.
Okay. Maybe we'll listen to them on the radio. We'll listen to them on YouTube.
Grunge is pretty good.
And Vicky Cornell Foundation, which strives to support and protect abused and sexually exploited children from around the world. The couple eventually became involved with one of their foundation partners' organizations, Aid Still Required, helping sexually abused orphans out of Haiti. Aid Still Required has received massive donations from the Clinton Foundation. According to a source that spoke with Freedom Daily, it was during this time that Cornell discovered that these orphans weren't being placed into better environments after all, but were then being sold into sexual slavery and human trafficking rings. In May of 2017, Chris Cornell was found hanged to death in the MGM Grand Hotel, leaving behind his wife Vicky and their 3 children. He was discovered with 9 broken ribs, blood splattered on the wall, and had suffered head trauma before he died. His death was officially declared a suicide.
What?
His friends insist
Sure.
he was in no way suicidal. Many of the details of his suicide simply don't add up.
No shit!
For instance,
How do you break your own
Chris had
ribs?
just performed
Good
a
question.
full concert with no apparent signs of having 9 broken ribs. Chris's body was found cold to the touch, which would have taken at least 2 hours in a hotel room. This would place the time of his death between 11 p.m. and 11:30 p.m. when his bodyguard, Martin Kirsten, was reportedly with him. There is no official explanation for what caused the bloodstain on the wall next to his body. His feet were touching the floor, meaning he was only partially suspended by his neck. Furthermore, Chris's bodyguard claims that he had to kick in the door to his hotel room to discover Chris dead.
And the bodyguard
Not
wasn't
only
in
is
the
this
room
nearly
with
impossible
him?
to do without
Apparently
a
not.
door-breaching mini-ram, but the crime scene report indicated no sign of forced entry. After reviewing the autopsy report and position of the body, world-renowned forensic pathologist Dr. Werner Spitz concluded that Cornell's death was not a suicide.
No shit!
Dr. Spitz has worked with many high-profile murder investigations, including Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and John F. Kennedy, and served as an expert witness during the O.J. Simpson and Casey Anthony trials. One article reads, "Speaking to TMD, a source close to Cornell has come forward, claiming that he had uncovered evidence of a cocaine and child trafficking ring in Mena, Arkansas, that was tied to Bill and Hillary Clinton. According to
In
the source,
Arkansas?
Mr. Cornell..."
I mean, well, Bill Clinton is from Arkansas.
Fair enough.
And Bill Clinton was the governor of Arkansas before he ran for president.
Fair enough.
Cornell had uncovered the identities of high-level elites that were part of the same satanic Illuminati occult operation as the Clintons, and planned on
Sure they did.
exposing
Fair
their
enough.
goings-on
Go on.
right before he died. Two months later, it was reported that Linkin Park frontman Chester Bennington committed suicide on Chris Cornell's birthday. Bennington and Cornell were reportedly working collaboratively to expose a pedophile ring operating in the music industry and elsewhere, although this cannot be substantiated. However, that doesn't mean that Bennington's death, and life for that matter, is without intrigue.
I mean, it's Linkin Park.
Linkin Park was handpicked by John Podesta to...
I mean, it's Linkin Park. I mean, music's okay, but makes sense that they'd be chasing down conspiracies.
Right.
It's not like they have much else going on at the moment.
See, it's kind of like the saying, if you don't know how to do something, you should teach how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's for famous people. If you're no longer relevant anymore, just take up a cause. You know, just something. Make it child trafficking or something.
And just have the best bodyguards that you can possibly buy. That don't leave your room.
Yes, please sit in while we are having sexual relations. Myself and my wife. That's why they weren't in the room. Is because you're talking about a private.
Yeah, I don't care. The security guard can either get over it or he can be into it. I don't care.
To be fair, that is something that they actually talk about with the Secret Service as being something that happens relatively frequently. Is they have to figure out like how do you just live your life with just several armed guards standing like 6 feet away from you at all times.
It's fine. You just work with it.
Right. I mean, that's what you have to do.
It's like a permanent orgy. It's fine.
Oh my God.
You're just permanently 100% for the rest of your life in the middle of the Truman Show and Pornhub at the same time. It's fine.
Well, yes, Daddy.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Called Sustainable Energy for All in Haiti, which received a $250,000
We'll make sure we have gay security
grant
guards. It's
from
fine.
the Clinton Foundation.
Absolutely.
Are you the gayest FBI agent you have?
Show me your hands and your ass.
No?
Officer California San Francisco Brady here.
No.
For it. Bennington and Cornell were both associated with the
Is Q
Haiti-based...
Squad? Does Q Squad have a new season?
Q Squad? What is that?
The Q Force?
Q Force? No,
Yeah.
it does not.
Okay.
It was not very popular, except with people like us.
That's fine.
So.
We'll just add shows to our repertoire and just greenlit everything.
Sure.
Through the powers of Scientology or something. Because I'm sure they would approve.
I'm sure they would approve of a queer investigative task force. That just sounds like something Scientology would love.
Oh, yeah.
Profit, aid still required. One police source was quoted as saying that he believed Bennington was murdered.
You think?
The Los Angeles coroner's office took 130 days to release the autopsy report.
Jesus.
Bennington's sister, Toby, has publicly indicated that she believes her brother shared the same fate as Jeffrey Epstein, who famously didn't kill himself.
You think?
She claims her Twitter account was subsequently hacked and suspended after she publicly shared her suspicions. There does appear to be a striking resemblance between the faces of Bennington and Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta.
What? So okay, hold on. The person doing the narration is tricking you by saying this in the same tone as real information. So it would be let me just tell you what he just said, okay? I'm gonna translate the weird alt-right white supremacist speak for you, okay? Here's what he just said. This random person kind of looks a little bit like John Podesta. Therefore, he must be a clone. I know it sounded...
It's not a clone. Actually, it is John Podesta.
Oh my God!
They faked his death.
John Podesta went back in time to sex traffic children from pizza restaurants. It's a conspiracy.
No. they're one and the same person. It's just they faked his death, and then they gave him the job. Don't ask us how they replaced the gauges and whatnot, but the surgery, yes!
Of course!
It's the same person, of course!
Of course it is! It must be! Jesus.
How far down the fucking rabbit hole are we at the moment?
So in terms of rabbit hole, I want you to imagine an ant's nest of rabbit holes, and then you get to the bottom of the ant's nest, and there's an elevator down to the center of the earth, and then you go out of the elevator, and you step into a portal, and you enter the nether realm. That's approximately how far down the rabbit hole that we are right now.
Oh,
Which
okay.
many have pointed out looks like a father-son relationship.
Oh my god, no! It's so fucking stupid!
Had an affair with John Podesta,
Oh
which
my
would have been
God.
possible given that the two knew each other. The theory goes that when Bennington's biological father found out he was raising another man's son, he divorced her. Now, many investigators believe that Linkin Park, the band, is an homage to Linkin Park, a Canadian military base in Alberta that conducted and...
What? Okay. Let me just... Here's what I have to say about this, okay? Okay? Here's what I have to say about this.
Yeah.
There's no question that I am a crazy motherfucker.
Correct.
Okay? I have weird ideas. I have weird interests. I like to look into weird things.
Me too.
But so again, let me be clear. I am a touch of insane. But this guy is on a whole different level.
MK-Ultra mind control experiments on children for the purpose of developing super...
Okay, let me, because we're doing an audio podcast here, let me just go back a little bit. Because I need to comment on what I just saw. I need to comment on what I just saw.
In Park, a Canadian military base in Alberta that conducted MK-Ultra mind control experiments on children.
Okay, so let me just describe for the viewers, or for the listeners, what I'm looking at right now.
A military base in Canada that conducted MK-Ultra mind control experiments on children.
And I kid you not, the picture that they used to illustrate the quote, MK-Ultra mind control experiments on children, a direct quote, is a picture of what appears to be a woman in a squirrel costume. Not a furry squirrel costume. A squirrel costume that looks like a real squirrel head on a human woman. I thought we'd already reached the bottom of the rabbit hole. There's so much farther down to go into the rabbit's hole. I am intrigued by this.
For the purpose of developing super spies and assassins.
Of course.
Many children involved in the programs at Linkin Park were sexually abused. Bennington has publicly spoken of being sexually abused as a child. John Podesta, or Skippy as he prefers to be called, owns a large and vile collection of what can only be described as pedophilia art.
What? And so they're, and in this case, they're illustrating. They're illustrating the quote, pedophilia art.
Prefers to be called. Owns a large and vile collection.
So this, I have no idea where this picture is from, but it is a very expensive looking house. With a spiral staircase. Now there's completely white, blank walls, and just a large canvas of a male torso, an adult male torso wearing a diaper. No one would put this up in their... This is obviously fake. No one would put this up in their house.
That's a baby wearing a diaper.
That is an adult. That is not a baby hand. That is an adult hand.
No, that is a baby being held by an adult.
Oh, okay. Maybe. This is very strange.
Of what can only be described as pedophilia art.
What the fuck am I looking at?
Podesta was also chief of staff.
What is going on
Bill
here?
Clinton.
Podesta.
Jesus Christ.
All right, well, you see my point.
Okay. Yeah.
When I talk, that's because I'm in this ongoing whatever the hell they're doing.
What's in your closet, John Podesta? Big Podesta? Big Soros? Do you want us to play these games?
Big Podesta, Big Soros, and meanwhile, this guy is just like, oh my god, another one of these crazy Pizzagate people. Oh my god.
Because we're playing to win.
In 2009, James O'Keefe of Project Veritas released undercover videos purporting that ACORN, the Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, had been engaged in underage prostitution.
Oh, what?
What? ACORN! A non-profit organization with the goal of signing people up to vote.
I mean, Acorn's kind of shady, but there's shady and then there's...
Shady registration of voters is one thing. That it is a leap to a alternate parallel Pizzagate QAnon universe to say this non-profit organization that's kind of shady with their voter registration practices is also trafficking in child prostitutes. More at 11. Where is your proof, sir?
None other than John Podesta was appointed to investigate the scandal. Journalist Andrew Breitbart was vocal about his disdain for Podesta. On February 4th, 2011, Andrew Breitbart
So
tweeted,
an actual journalist that we've vaguely heard of.
Well, Breitbart is pretty, far-right, alt-right, and they've been debunked, many of their stories have been debunked by real news sites like Politico, so do take that with a grain of salt.
I have heard of this man, at the very least.
Correct, but it's like saying I've heard of...
Elvis Presley.
Sure, I've heard of Elvis Presley, but that doesn't mean I believe that he was running a child prostitution ring out of a pizza restaurant. I'm going to keep coming back to that because that is just so absurd.
Yes, Hillary Clinton was trafficking child prostitutes out of Comet Pizza, and someone went there with a gun to actually figure out if anyone was being trafficked. He went into the pizza restaurant,
shot at one of the employees, and then was disappointed to find that there were no child prostitutes to rescue.
A smart man would find a drone, land it on top of the pizzeria.
No.
I'm not done. Land it on the pizzeria, have 24-hour surveillance to see if anything shady comes in and out, document it, and then figure out what's going on from there.
See, this is why we are journalists investigating a story, and these guys are crazy right-wing people who are keyboard warriors. It's fine to investigate, quote-unquote, but just saying,
this guy vaguely kind of looks like he has a similar nose to John Podesta. It must mean that Hillary Clinton had an affair with this
or whatever crazy thing he said. Come on, dude. Just, they have a similar nose. They're both white. That is not a conspiracy. That is just a...
No, they're obviously brothers.
Clearly.
They're obviously father and brother, and father and son.
Oh, my God. Okay. Okay. Let me just say, I am so glad that we have finally found the rabbit hole. Because, again, this video, I remind you, has 700 views. However...
Are we in Narnia now?
However, I will point out that the person who makes and publishes these videos has $1,200 a month on Patreon. So here's my question. How is a channel that gets 700 views on a video making $1,200 a month on Patreon?
I don't know.
I am fascinated by this. Let's continue.
He probably like a
Progressive
slut
guru
show?
John
I don't know.
Podesta isn't a household name as a world-class underage sex slave op cover-upper defending unspeakable.
That's an interesting sentence, if I've ever heard one.
It's a world-class sex slave op cover-upper.
John.
Are we in Narnia now?
Imagine if when Lucy stepped through the wardrobe, she had not stepped into Narnia, but had accidentally stepped into Trump's Twitter feed. That's basically what's happening.
Drugs escapes me. Then, a year later, all throughout February 2012, Breitbart telegraphed the release of a video that he said would appear on March 1st. This video, he claimed, would be severely damaging to Obama's re-election campaign. Wait till they see what happens March 1st, he said. Right before the anticipated release on February 28th, 2012, he tweeted, "How much longer until they kill me? Heart attack or car accident? Or frame me for a crime? Read me while you can." Breitbart died of an alleged heart attack on March 1st, 2012.
Okay, now that is suspicious. If he
Wait a minute.
actually tweeted that significantly before, because this guy doesn't look that. Oh, that's a picture of Obama, but it's
He's a lizard man, obviously.
I knew it. I knew it.
The inside job was correct.
Yes, the inside job was trying to tell us about the lizard people all along. Now let's take a quick commercial break. Stay tuned.